Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Tea Talk with your host, me, Travis. As you can see, I have a new webcam thing. Got it on sale. It's an HD one, but I'm not going to be putting it in HD for making it easier for you to load on the internet. There's a few things we could talk about. One thing that we won't talk about is the presidential election. Awesome. All right. Cool. We're skipping that. Everyone already has talked about that to death, and we're not going to do it anymore. But there are two other things that we could be talking about. One, we could be talking about decriminalization of marijuana in 2 states, or we could talk about gay marriage. Let's get to the marijuana stuff later. We're going to be covering the gay marriage right now. Recently, gay marriage was legalized in a state of which will not be named because I totally forgot and I'm sorry. I've just been real busy and everything, but whatever. I typed up a small report so everything isn't as hectic. I actually have all the facts and things like that here. I just wanted to make sure it was like one solid piece because this isn't necessarily an argument as much as it is a speech or an educational session, if you will. Have you ever read the Butter Battle book by Dr. Seuss? In the story, there are 2 warring factions that endlessly fight and kill each other over whose opinion is right when it comes to how to put butter on your toast in the morning. One side puts the butter on the top while the other puts it on the bottom, and while it may have been written during the Cold War, it can almost be applied to any major argument these days. Just almost. What I'm comparing it to today is the gay agenda. When you go to an orphanage, there are tons of children wishing and dreaming for good homes. They cry at night while feeling alone, only wanting to be loved. 2 men, or 2 women, depending on your preference, walk into an orphanage with the best of intentions. They have steady jobs and they pay their taxes. They work just as hard as the next person. Both of them are honest Americans. Here's the catch, though. They are both gay. They don't gloat about it, nor do they shove it in people's faces. They just came to this orphanage for one reason. They wanted to start a family. A happy and fulfilled family. The child they will adopt will receive the best medical, schools, love, and attention the couple can give that child. Would you deny that child's bright future and a chance at a new life on the grounds that the adoptees are homosexual? The Bible has told billions of people that in the book of Leviticus, if a man were to sleep with another man, then they must be put to death. Yet this is the same Bible that preaches love and care for all living things and tolerance towards thy neighbors. Jesus, the very man people hoist into the air as their savior, is used as a tool to hate and criticize gays. Not everyone, mind you. People use picket signs and scream that God hates them, that they are going to hell, they shouldn't have the same rights as a strong, faithful Christian does. This was also said about the slaves during the Civil War. They can't think for themselves. They're a disease among humanity. These people aren't God's people. We are. And they hold their book on high above their heads as if it gives them the right to judge another man, another creation, who is also said to be equal of him or her. Pope Benedict XVI, which I'm pretty sure that's the right Roman numeral, claimed back in January that family is between a man and woman. That is not like this just on the social level, but it is like this on the society level. And that's understandable. If everyone went gay, where are the babies going to come from? But that won't be the case, that never will be the case. He claimed that humanity's dignity was at stake. That if we allow gay marriage, all is lost. I say that happened the second we nailed the nicest man on earth to a wooden cross. The percentage of people who are openly homosexual in the United States is minuscule. As of 2011, close to 3.8 to 4% made up the entirety of gay America. That same year, the populace of the entire United States was estimated to be about 500,000 people, give or take. That means that not only about 11,800,000 people are gay, but they are also hardworking American taxpayers. Who would have thought? Here's a serious question. Does homosexual marriage honestly affect your way of life? Let's be honest. Let's generally be a good, honest human being and say honest to God or whoever or whatever you believe in. Does a couple wanting to live on their own and wanting to fulfill their own dreams completely shatter everything you live for? Those two homosexuals want the same freedoms and safety as any other American would. If you don't allow the small percentage of people to be happy, their support will grow larger, and society is already getting fed up with this. Legally being gay and married is becoming a reality. Is it tearing the fabric of this country apart? No, it isn't. This isn't an opinion, it's a fact. Homes aren't being burned and bombs aren't exploding everywhere because we allowed two loving people to live in peace. The bombs are flying because we're telling them no. People are getting beaten and killed over this because we tell them no. The Pope says we will lose our dignity if we allow them to wed. How about losing your dignity from trampling over hopes and dreams? To a lot of these people, they would give up everything just to own the ability to be legally married to their loved ones. To be honest, this should no longer be an issue. Hating on gays without reason, other than hate and using a Bible as cannon fodder, is simply a way to fight off something you're scared of or don't understand. The average case goes that the more you hate gays, the more of a possibility you are of being a closet homosexual. That isn't always the case, but it's actually happened a few times in the past. Politicians, movie stars, and countless others have brandished gays only to end up coming out of the closet many years later. Perhaps this, in a weird way, is the same about society. As a whole, society at a time stoned and killed countless homosexuals. It was looking down upon it with rage, and still is by some people. But as society has grown older and hopefully more mature, it gets accustomed to its gay neighbor. One country that hasn't gotten accustomed to gay society is Uganda, a small country near Central Africa. A whopping 89% of the people who are said to be, against being homosexual as morally unacceptable, and a bill is being pushed to kill gay people. Luckily, countries like the UK are promising to cut financial aid and the like for Uganda if this passes, and several other countries are following suit. This at least puts pressure on them to not let the bill pass. And want to know what's funny? Want to know what's funny about this? An extremely large percent of the Ugandan people are Christian. Who'd have thought? Me personally, I would go as far as to say that it's not only immoral to hate on homosexuals for their preferences, it would also be un-American. This land may have been founded by religious people, but it was also founded by the idea that any man, woman, or child could grow up in this country devoid of segregation and hate for their beliefs and lifestyle. The land of the free. It's time to stop being hypocrites and set the example. That's about it. If you like the message that this video shares, please share it. I just want word to get out. There's bigger things to worry about in this country besides whether or not gays should be getting married. There are bigger issues at hand. People are still starving and tons of people are homeless. People are suffering because of different kinds of disasters. There's just so many more things to worry about. And honestly, whether or not two men should be caring about each other or two women should be allowed to live in their own home together, it's as a married couple, is just it's not reasonable. It's almost kind of pointless. I mean, you're debating on whether or not the butter should be on the top or the bottom, and really, I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's toast with butter on it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also look for T-Talk's Facebook page. If you want to leave a counter discussion or some kind of other part to the argument, please do. I'm sure I might have screwed up somewheres, but please forgive me. I'm only human. And I have a very open mind. I'm willing to listen to reason. So don't start this as a flame war or anything like that. Travis, signing out.